Hi guys, thanks so much for stopping by. I will be doing another gardening product review, and this is for Blue Planet Nutrients, liquid blue, sorry. I hope you enjoy my video or the rest of my video. You can hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell to be notified every single time I upload a new video. All of my other social media accounts are in the description section, so do check that out. If I do have currently some kind of discount code or coupon code, it will always be in the description section for you guys to enjoy. So this is a bloom booster. If you are new to gardening and you don't know what a bloom booster is a term for in regards to plants that are flowering plants, and a bloom booster is an additive to that to encourage more blooms. That's why it's called a bloom booster. Encourage more flowers and stuff like that. So I started trying a ton. If you've noticed in my channel, I've started to use a lot of Blue Planet Nutrients products. And the reason for that is that number one, they don't use urea, which you can't put that in orchids or fiddle leaf fig. Number two, I can use it in any medium that I want, which I do from time to time. I do have different types of plants, so that can really be benefited because some other fertilizers or supplements, it really is catered to a certain type of medium. So pay attention to that. Like if you're using leca in that soil, if you're aeroponic or hydroponic or just regular soil or fast draining soil like cactus or palm soil or bark or pebbles or rocks or vermiculite or moss or sphagnum moss, sometimes certain fertilizers and supplements don't work there. So be very careful and actually do your research on that. That's what I do all the time. That's why I wanted to share with my channel, because not only is it for me to go back if I forget and I'm like, oh, what happened there? But it's also for anybody else that's doing the research, because, going online, getting all my info before buying this, I had a ton of different sources to read. So anyway, the NPK is 2,4,10, which is kind of shocking because usually bloom boosters have the highest P or potassium, which would be the middle one, but this is not very high. So I was actually just in contact with a company before I purchased this because I was really confused with the products and I didn't know which one to use. I actually purchased this before I purchased another bloom booster, which I should have a review on that before, and it should be up here. It could have been before or after right now that it flashed up here. But anyway, you can also look that up, Blue Planet Nutrients, Natasha, Harper. It should pop up there. Different bloom booster. So what I have done is I purchased this one first because I didn't know there was another one. Purchased this one first, and supposedly you can use this pre-budding, during budding, blooming, and after blooming. So I do use this every single time I water any flowering plants that I want to encourage to bud and to flower. Another thing is this does recommend between 5 to 10 ml per gallon of water mix. I love to use the 5 ml or 1 teaspoon. That can change, but I've used that one and it's good enough for me. I have noticed that with using this, my flowers do have a better quality of flowers. The flowers are a little bit bigger. The flowers have like a sheen in some of them. It's really beautiful, and they last way longer. If you are an orchid lover like I am, I do have orchids, and they just bloom a little bit longer than usual. Some people can keep their flowers to bloom maybe a week or 2 weeks. Lately, since there's been maybe the second batch that it has bloomed with just me, before it budded stage, and this one, I would say that it's been 2 batches so far. Before that, I don't count that as a batch. When you get it at the store or when you first get it and it's blooming, I don't count that as a batch with me because I wasn't there before the budding stage. I wasn't there when the budding stage. I wasn't there budding and blooming and after. So I only count the next stage. I only count after. I've had them bloom for me twice, and I've used this. And what I have noticed is this: when I first started to use it, what I've noticed was that the effects wasn't right away. I've noticed that the first batch that I got was an improvement from the batch 0, which is when I first got them. I have also noticed on my second batch, the buds are bigger. I mean, the buds are, let's just say if the first batch, my buds were, let's just say 20 to 30. My buds for my second batch is like 40 to 50. It's a big amount. It really, really heightened. And also, for an example, and I'm not saying that was literal. I'm not saying that I had 50 flowers. I'm just saying that's an example. If they were blooming for my first batch for 3 to 4 months, on my second batch, they're blooming 5 to 6 months. That is actually a better account to that. But I can only account to like 5 to 6 months. I don't know if it was 3 to 4 or 4 to 5 or just 3 to 4 months for my first batch. What I mean is that the longer I have used this, I think like it just kind of embedded in the plant itself, the better the outcome is through time. So I really, really love this. I have also used this on my other flowering plants, and they always flower. Like my Thanksgiving cactus, that flowered again after fall, which that's supposed to be blooming at like November, December. It bloomed again another time. And I do think that this contributed to that, because I remember when I had my huge Thanksgiving cactus many years ago, is that it would always bloom throughout the year and not just specific months of the year. And I think when you do add bloom boosters, it does help with that. It was a different brand that I used before, but it would always still bloom. I can't really compare if it would have bloomed more in the number of frequency or more in the number of flowers, but I can only explain about or share about my orchids, because those are the ones that that I currently have. This one has not bloomed yet, but I'm not really in a rush. I love the large leaves. This is a white bird of paradise. This one is always having flowers, but I don't, sometimes I have given it this one, and then sometimes I just don't give it. But this one, yeah. And I just, the flower is just blah for me. It's not very showy. It's not flashy. So it's not, I'm not very like, I don't really give it the bloom boosters because it's not really something like that. I would say most of my plants are foliage. Not a lot of them do pop up flowers or buds. My flowering plants are very special to me, especially my orchids. I love growing orchids, and I do grow them. When I water them, I use this. I also use this for my Hoyas, and I haven't had any buds for that yet, but they say usually it takes 5 years since you've had it. And when I did get my Hoyas from the very beginning, they were like this big. They were really tiny. They're bigger now, much, much bigger. But this doesn't really help in regards to growth. This helps in regards to quality of buds, quality of flowers, longevity of the flower. So it really does, if you want the flower to wilt and stop so that it can produce the what is that, the fruit, this is what you use. This is what you continue until the end of that stage. And I believe the instructions, the detailed instructions are on their website, so do check that out. But this is more of like the end half stage. I have used it in that way. It was okay. It was okay, but I use this every single time I water my flowering plants. Yeah. That's probably why I'm always getting buds and blooms, and my flowers are just so beautiful. Like, I remember, like, today was so sunny and beautiful. I glanced to my orchid and I'm like, oh my God, it just looks so beautiful. And I'm really, really glad that I stumbled into this. because I totally love it. If you guys have other suggestions, comments, or anything, another bloom booster, especially from like Blue Planet, that might be better than this one without urea, because I use this with all of my plants and I need to be able to use this for my orchids, and orchids will die if there is any urea in fertilizer or bloom boosters or anything you mix in the water. So if you don't know that, you should know that. And if your orchids are dying, that's probably why. So pay attention on what you feed your orchids. They're, you know, they're sensitive. So I would really want something that I could use universally, because I get, I mentioned this in my other videos, I have between 150 to 200 plants, and having a ton of different things and mixing a ton of different mixes is really overwhelming. Like it's a lot. There are some days that I might use like 1 gallon, but there are some days that I use like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gallons to just water the plants for that day. So I would really prefer something more universal. I would give this a 2 thumbs up, and I would give it a 5 out of 5 stars. I totally love this. I would really, really want to try something better, obviously, if I can. And I can mix that with my Blue Planet Nutrients Blue Max Part A and B, because I really love that fertilizer as my backbone. If there's anything else, you guys, that I didn't mention, I tried as much as possible to give you all the information. Let me know down below in the comment section. I love hearing from you guys all the time. If you're new to my channel and you don't know this yet, if I don't respond to you within like 24, 48 hours, if you left a comment, I hope you don't hate me. It's just a system lag, but I will always get that. If I don't get that, the system never shared it with me. So that's why I can't respond to something I can't see. There is no way for me to access that. But if it is there and they shared it with me, or it was sent to me so I can access that, then I always respond. Again, any other questions, let me know down in the comment section, guys. I love hearing from you guys all the time. Thank you guys for all the positive words, the beautiful, encouraging statements. Thank you guys so much. And again, don't forget to check my description section. Thank you, and I'll see you guys again next time.